Hello and welcome to the ILTV News Podcast. I'm Maayan Hoffman, Executive Editor of ILTV News, and I welcome back our viewers and listeners. Now we are in for a real treat today. It is Motzei Tu B'Av, the holiday of love, the Jewish Valentine's Day, and so we brought in a very special guest, Aleeza Ben Shalom, who is a famous worldwide matchmaker for the Jewish people and, of course, the star of Jewish Matchmaker on Netflix. Aleeza, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, I want to just get started. Some of our viewers might not know what Tu B'Av even is. What is the holiday, and how does it really compare to Valentine's Day?
So it doesn't compare to Valentine's Day at all, except for the fact that it's all about love. The difference is that only Jewish people celebrate Tu B'Av, where Valentine's Day everybody's celebrating. And it used to be back in the day that it was like this harvest holiday with grapes and vines, and women would dress in white like you, and they'd go out into the fields and dance. And it was a time where love was supposed to happen. We were looking to make matches. And so we mimic that. We have white parties now. We try to bring singles together and try to build our Jewish community.
Now, what's one of the Jewish teachings or traditions about love that you think the whole world should know? Because love in Judaism is different from love in most of the rest of the world.
A lot of people think that love is a feeling. I'm just going to have this feeling, and when I feel that I love you, I'll know I love you, and that's what it is. In Judaism, love, ahava, in Hebrew means to give. At the root of it, hav, means to give. That's literally the formula for love. The more that I give, the more that I develop love, and the more that I feel connected to you. You might think, oh, if you give to me, so I'm going to feel loved. Yes, but your love won't develop for the other person unless you're also a giver.
Oh, it's beautiful. So then I guess the whole notion of love at first sight is something that doesn't really exist in Judaism.
I don't personally believe in it. I think you can have lust at first sight. I think you can have, I want to be with you, I want to connect to you at first sight, but it's not love at first sight. Love takes time. You have to give. That doesn't just happen from a glance.
And how do you know that love is building over time?
Love builds over time from the actions that we do. So if giving is our formula, it's like a parent-child relationship. Who loves who more? A parent will always love a child more unless a child would have to give in the same type of a way to a parent. There's just no way that we can develop that love. So at the root of it, we come together over the course of time. It's built slowly over the course of time.
How long does it take?
A lifetime. So I would say young love, right? You meet, you start to connect, things happen. You're starting like... Young couples will say, oh, I love you. Great. I love you. You love me. Yes. There's a very big difference between I met you for a month and I love you, and I've been married to you for 50 years and I've been giving to you. Those two types of love. It's kind of like a young wine, right? Or a very mature wine. Same way with love.
Wow, that's a great analogy. I love that analogy. There you go. Now, you're called the Jewish Matchmaker, and I want to know, you've put together, first of all, how many couples have you worked with?
The number's like forever growing. Over 250 couples I've helped to get to the chuppah.
That's incredible, 250. I think it's only 3 that you need to get Olam Haba, right?
It's not written anywhere. It's not in the Torah. It's no verses that we know. That's just made up? It's made up, but everybody believes it. So I keep asking, I'm like, somebody has to have a source somewhere. If you have a source, come find me.
I'm going to have to look for that. But I'm thinking that you must have like heaven and heaven and heaven coming to you at 250 if there is any source for that. But tell me something, surprising that's happened over these 250 couples. What's one story, matchmaking story, that really stands out?
I think not everything that I think is the right match. And the most surprising thing sometimes happens when a couple wants to get together, but it's not a match that I see. And I think for every matchmaker or anybody trying to make a match, you have to buy in and believe in a match. And so there was a couple that wanted me to set them up, and I said, I'm not the right matchmaker for you. And they're like, no, but I think it's a good match. I said, I know. But I don't. And I don't see it. And if I don't see it, I can't pitch it. Like, I have to buy in also. So I said, we need to get somebody else on board. And I called other matchmaking friends, and they made the match.
Wow.
And it ended up working. But it didn't, like all the things that I thought weren't going to work, they didn't work. And I was right. But they still chose to get married for other reasons, for other values, for other beliefs. And that's something that you don't know and you can't see until a couple chooses on their own.
So tell me about this job. I mean, describe what it is to be a Jewish matchmaker, because maybe some of our viewers actually don't know. And then tell me one of the most surprising things that you think people wouldn't know about what you do.
One of the most surprising things is that it is 90% perspiration and about 10% inspiration.
Okay.
So a lot of people, they think about matchmaking, like they'll meet you. Hey, how are you, Aleeza? Okay, I'm going to tell you 5-10 things about me. Okay, you know me and you know everybody in the world. So now you just make a match, right? Like it's like AI, but Aleeza Intelligence AI is not the same as AI. It doesn't work as fast and it doesn't work in the same way. And I don't know everybody. And the perspiration, the sweat, the work of matchmaking is really networking. It's very business-like. You have to meet a lot of people. You have to understand people, a little bit of psychology in there, which isn't my background at all. But you have to dig in and really get people in order to make a smart match. And so the inspiration when it comes, sometimes an idea pops into your head. You're like, oh, I have an idea. Well, is it an idea or is it a good idea? There's a very big difference. A lot of people have ideas and you shouldn't say anything. And a lot of people have good ideas and then they don't speak up. And you're like, no, why didn't you say something? So knowing the difference between an idea versus a good idea is really a lot of the hard work.
Well, it sounds like it really is very business-like. I mean, you talked before about, being inspired by it in order to be able to pitch an idea. I mean, it's very similar when you have a company, right? Either you love your company and then you can sell it and be the strongest entrepreneur, or you can't. And, it's the same thing. It sounds like, you have to work very hard. Just because somebody has a nugget doesn't mean that it will necessarily come to fruition without all the hard work. And tell me something. I mean, is this lucrative in any way to make matches? Or is this like a good business to be in?
It could be.
Only if it works?
Yes, so there's the traditional shidduch method, which is you work and it's a volunteer thing. You make matches and upon engagement, they make a fee to the matchmaker. Okay. There's like modern matchmaking, which works a little bit differently. It's kind of like hiring a recruiter. You hire them, they find you the person, and that's how they kind of build the business. And then there's also a coaching model and a support model. And that's probably where my passion lies, is in the head and the heart. I love to support people. I like to make sure that their thinking's in alignment, their heart is open. So when the right person walks through the door, they're not closed, it's not a bad time, it's not that they can't handle it. They're ready for the opportunity, and it's almost like we role played. They know what to expect. They just haven't seen it yet, and it didn't come. And that's a lot of the hard work that I really love.
But you say you don't have a psychology background. So what does that look like to get somebody ready to date?
Right. So I don't do the therapy side.
Okay.
I love to refer out for that. Although I have studied it extensively and it excites me. And when I talk, people are like, you sound like a therapist. And I'm like, I'm not. Matchmaker, dating coach, author, a lot of things, but not that. So I don't do... So I would break it down past, present, future. Okay. And I think the past, therapy deals with a lot, and then engaging, with the present. And I really focus on understanding the past, but not dealing with it, being in the present, and then knowing how to get you to the future. So it's more of like the coaching model, more of the mentorship model, where I'm going from, I just accept who you are. You've got problems, I've got problems, we all got problems, you can still find your person. No problem, right? Wow. That's just the way it goes. And then I look for a path forward and how I can be smart about moving us forward in a way that you can handle today. And then, also get therapy. That's good. You can deal with that, but that's not my area of expertise.
Amazing. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not interested in this, so don't get any ideas. But I'm just wondering, if I wanted to be ready to go out and to find my match, what would be the first 2-3 pieces of advice that you would give to me?
Number 1, date yourself.
Okay. What does that look like?
Take yourself out on a date. Go sit in a cafe. It's not boring. It's not lonely. You should enjoy your own company. You should enjoy your own thoughts. You should get reconnected with your own thinking. Second, find a hobby. Do something you love. When you love something, you're passionate. You're excited. You want to talk about it. You want to tell everybody, I'm doing... It doesn't matter. Pottery. I started surfing. I don't care what it is. But something that lights you up so that when you say it, somebody sees that spark, because it's so appealing and it's so attractive. And I would also say number 3 is to do some form of chesed. Give back. Do something good for the world. When you do good for other people, it makes you feel good as well. And it also shows that you're a loving, caring person and have the ability to give, and that will be very appealing to your partner.
Now, have you ever matched, you mentioned this client that you pulled somebody else in, but have you ever matched someone that you did it, but you thought, that's probably not going to work, but then they totally surprised you?
Yeah, there was a couple, and the personalities were a little bit off. Like, he's not as warm. Like, that's culturally how, where he comes from. And she's just this warm and wonderful and engaging human. And I was like, no, it's not going to fly. like he'll probably love her, but I don't know if that will be enough for her. And it worked, and they got married, and they have a couple kids, and yeah,
Wow.
it was a story that I check in with her every so often. I'm like, no, she's like, listen, he didn't change. What had to change was my expectation of what to have in a relationship with my partner, and he can give me this, that, the other. I get stability, I get loyalty, commitment, dedication, consistent. There's so many things, but that warmth, that's what I bring, and I bring. That we're out of balance there. I bring more of that, but he brings more of other things. And that's just something I've had to learn to accept.
So talk about that, because I think a lot of times relationships, and I'm not a relationship expert, so you're going to say, Maayan, that makes no sense what you just said, but I'm going to say it anyway. Relationships sometimes fail, right? Because people have false expectations, or they have unrealistic expectations, or they want the person to be exactly like them, and that's the expectation. So, nothing in life is ever 100%. So how do you know that the formula is right and that it's not perfect, but it's quote unquote good enough, and what to build on?
So we need the values to be in alignment. Who I am, what do I want in my life? By the end of my life, when somebody's standing at my funeral, what are they going to say? What have I achieved, and what have we as a couple achieved together? If that's in alignment, then we have to figure out all the quirks. Like, we have different hobbies, and we don't like the same type of music. I would tell you, my husband and I, different hobbies. If we were on a dating app that was music-based, we would not have matched. I walk into the kitchen, the music goes off, or he switches it to the station that I can handle. And that's just the way that it goes. Like, we have to figure out how to navigate, but that's part of the beauty of a relationship, which is I love you and I care enough about you that what's important to you and feels right to you matters. And where we have alignment, great, let's lean in. And where we don't have alignment, let's navigate that as gracefully as possible.
And it can work. Like, can you live with somebody who has, let's say, different habits than you?
Yeah. We also have like morning person, night person, right? Yeah. So we've worked it out. When the kids were young, it worked out great. He woke up in the morning, I stayed up late, and they recovered for 24 hours. So it works. But it is work. To just also like temperature, that's the big thing. Like, or soft bed, hard bed. Everybody has a different preference.
Toothpaste, right?
Just buy 2 tubes. Whatever, keep it in the drawer. But it's something that we have to work with, and we have to say, overall, I love who you are. Our values are aligned. We're in a good place together. These little things, they're annoying. That's called life, because we're a body and not just a soul. We live in this world. We have to do stuff together. And it doesn't align. And we have to figure out how to manage that and work around it, and not hyper-focus on the stuff that's irritating. Like, focus on the good.
When a couple is challenged in that way and you're watching them through the dating process thinking, wow, but this is like a great match, but there's some bumps along the road. What advice do you give to them at the time? How do you get them to help them to navigate through those bumps?
So we talk about the fact that I expect there to be bumps and problems, and I want you to fall. And what I want to know is, can you get up? Right? A kid on a bike, you're riding, you fall. Do you get up or you give up? Okay? If you get up, then it's a relationship that can work as long as you can overcome it. And the next fall, you do a little more gracefully, right? But if you give up over and over again, I just can't do this. It's too much. It's too hard. I can't handle them. Okay. This isn't your match.
This isn't your match.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super interesting. Now, I'm unfortunately divorced, so I've had a match that didn't work, and I think it's left me also like a little bit more guarded. Like, I think that when I go out to date, I think, well, we're not going to cross that bridge, again. Yeah. And a little more sensitive, less trusting. Tell me something. Do you think that people that do get divorced, is there only one match? Are there more than one match? Is there more than one match for you in the world?
I love that question. So the way that you make a soulmate is by getting married. Right? So we're a body in this world. I like you, you like me. We could even say we love each other. Yay. You get married, now you're soulmates. Before you get married, you're dating, you're potential soulmates.
Okay.
So you got married, you had a soulmate. Now you got divorced. Let's say you meet somebody new. Yay! You like him, he likes you, it works out. You choose to get married. Yay! You will have had 2 soulmates. Most people have 1, 2, maybe 3. Some end up with 4 or more. It's much more rare. So how many soulmates will you have in a lifetime? It just depends on how many times you get married.
And it's literally based on the marriage and not like something from heaven that God has created X number of soulmates and you're going to find them.
So I've been doing a lot of reading on this. Everybody has something different to say. Some have said, 3. Some have not, nobody says just 1. Like there's only one human for you. That's it. 3, I've heard 3, 7. I heard as recent as 18.
Wow.
King
Who
Solomon.
could find all of those soulmates?
Okay. right?
Wow, that's impressive.
It's impressive, and it would also be totally overwhelming. But
especially if they were all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a whole
I think
other
back
story.
in those days, that might have been
That's right.
acceptable.
That was a thing. Totally not something that I relate to now, but it was totally a thing. But to me, when you choose to marry somebody and be with them, that is the person. That is when that you make a decision. I look around the world. I go, not nobody else. I choose you, and that's it. That becomes your soulmate.
Wow, it's super beautiful. So tell me something, is it okay then in your mind to date simply for connection, or does the goal always have to be marriage?
So I think if you want connection, you should get a great friend and make a really beautiful friendship. I think if you want a relationship, the most beautiful type of relationship with the deepest connection is through marriage. So you could do it any other way. A lot of people like to try doing it other ways, but it's not soul satisfying. It's a connection.
Do you
but
think
you could have a deeper friendship than even a date or somebody that you really like.
So do you think at some point that someone that you don't marry will not be your soulmates in the long run? You said it only becomes officially the soulmate when you marry.
Yeah.
So is it more likely that if you don't marry the person that you'll just fall out and you'll find your next person?
I've seen couples that stay together and they choose not to get married. I mean, I'm in this industry and they've chosen not to get married and they're just mates. I had a conversation with one. They didn't want to tell their kids they were going to get married, but they didn't want to make a whole thing. I don't know why, and I don't know what the story was. And in the end, I said to them, I don't actually care. It should be a big celebration, community, whatever. But if you have the rabbi and you have your witnesses and you get married and you don't want to tell anybody, so go get married. You're missing out on all the blessings from above to come down. Getting married unlocks that and opens that. And just consider that you love each other and you're already acting as if you're married, so why not just be married? And if you need a prenup, so put that in place. So they did. They secretly got married.
Wow, that's wild. Wait, so tell me about those blessings. What are the blessings that come from getting married? Tell me what that looks like.
So there's a certain, you don't have a need for certain blessings if you don't have a need. So some people say, I can't have any more children because we don't have enough money. Well, you don't have any more, so you don't need any more money for them. If you have more, so you'll have exactly what you need for them. So the same thing works with marriage. So there are blessings and opportunities that come, but if you're not married, then you don't need those blessings. But if you want them to come to you, then you have to unlock that door.
Can I have an example?
So hard to.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm
but,
trying to think of I would say I'm not a rabbi and I'm not a spiritual guru. I'm spiritually connected myself.
No, but you clearly believe in your job of creating matches, so there must be something good that comes out of it.
There is, and I don't know if they're the earthly words to say, here on earth, this is the blessings that you will receive. I do believe the connection, the satisfaction of, when I work with a lot of different people and I work with a lot of broken hearts, and people ask how do you get through it and how do you deal with it? And I know that there's phases within love and relationships. And I talk to people and I say, in marriage, you have to understand we also have those ups and downs, right? But we stick together, we figure it out, we move through it. And there is a certain blessing and a comfort in knowing that you have your person, right? Some people say to me, who's that emergency number on your phone, right? Who are you going to call? You're in the hospital. Who do you call?
Right.
What if your parents aren't available? What if you don't have siblings? What if you're not really close and you don't have super close friends? Who's your person, right? When you know that you have your person, you move around the world in that way. And there's, I don't know, there's just a blessing of comfort, support, and potentially also peace and abundance. I think abundance, you could take anything on. It's not you alone in the world, where it's never us alone. We're here. I mean, I'm spiritually connected, so I have a belief in God, but there's somebody else there doing this with you. And, there's powers in numbers. Why do we have a minyan, right? Because there's a power in numbers. So there's a power in couples.
Wow, it's amazing. I want to keep going with this, but I'm going to take a little break to flip to you for just a minute. So you've written this book, Matchmaker, Find Me a Love That Lasts. This is a book that was published based on your Netflix series. You're also involved in something with the President's House, President Herzog, called Voice of the People, creating a series of videos of that. Tell me about these side projects that you have and what makes makes them so exciting? How do they support the core work that you're doing as matchmaker?
So I feel as a matchmaker, I'm just Aleeza. I'm one human in the world.
Well,
and
you're the Jewish matchmaker.
I'm the Jewish matchmaker now.
I don't know about that.
But I have only so much reach, and there's only so many hours I have in my day that I can get something done. So I want to have a larger impact. So my book, for example, you don't even have to call me. You could just read it. You can use it on yourself. You can use it with your friends or family members and try to play matchmaker. This gives you everything, and I can reach thousands of people without ever picking up the phone or doing anything. With Voice of the People and President Herzog, so he started this initiative to make a transformation in the Jewish world and brought 150 people from all over the globe and said, let's have an initiative, and how are we going to help the Jewish people? And I was like, oh, I'm on board. You want to save the Jewish people? I'm totally in for that. And right now, because of Tu B'Av, we have a series that is releasing about dating and love and relationships and just talking about it and trying to just support people and use the influence that we have to reach a global network and to help uplift people.
Where can people see that series?
So the series is going to be on social media, on the Voice of the People social media channels.
So like Instagram,
and you'll
TikTok,
see it on mine as well.
Okay, amazing. So we'll definitely try to check that out after people watch the podcast, of course. So tell me, on Tu B'Av, what advice would you give to somebody that has said that they've been on way too many bad dates and they are just losing hope?
Okay, first thing, just take yourself on a date. Just treat yourself. Go do something that you'd want. Literally plan yourself the date that you would want somebody to plan for you, and go do it and go enjoy it and just be in a moment and take a break and take a breather and then make a plan. Who do you need in your life to support you while you're going through this? What type of network are you going to do? Do you like dealing with online? Do you want to go to events in person? Like, how are you going to do this? Like, we have to get out there. Some people think like, well, it's my soulmate, so they're destined for me.
So they're just going to fall from the sky.
They're going to knock on my door. Hello, shalom, boker tov, I'm here. I'm ready. Are you? Right? It doesn't happen that way. It totally doesn't happen that way. So we need to do something active in the world about it. And if you don't have to do it yourself, you can assign your friend, here, you swipe for me. This is my app. I paid for it. You take care of it. You can assign the other one. You go over there. You go meet that people. See if there's anybody that's relevant for me. Bring me over if there is, right? Just ask people to support you and offer. Do something for them. What do they need in their life? How can you support them? So build a support network and try to make something happen.
Nice. What's the biggest lesson you've learned about love from all of your matchmaking experiences?
It's messy. Like there's this whole Hollywood and Disney happily ever after, and it's just going to be wonderful. It will, because it's love. It's going to be great. And I'm like, yes, there will be days that you will feel like that. And in the beginning, when you're dating, you'll feel like that a lot. And when you're engaged, hopefully you should feel like that too. And when you're first married, it should be good like that too. And then you're going to be married and you're going to have a life. And love is life. And life is love. We're all intertwined with each other. And it's messy, and it's okay, and it's perfectly imperfect. And I expect people to have ups and downs. I expect you to be lonely or have troubles in your relationship. And I expect that you'll have the skills and the tools that you need to overcome them. And if you can't, you need to get out and do that. You can move on and you can find love again. It's something that exists as long as you work to create it, because it's built by giving. So as long as you're giving, you're building love.
Do you think people leave marriages too quickly today? I mean, the divorce rate is very high.
I do. I have spoken with people after they've left and when they're back to the dating scene. We talk about a lot of things, and often they will say to me, I had one woman, she's like, oh, I wish I knew you when I was trying to figure this out and I decided to get divorced, because maybe I wouldn't have had I spoken to you and known what I know now. She did go on. She did get married a second time. She is happy, but there was like a reflection of maybe there was something that I was missing, that I could have used some of those tools to work with my marriage even more than I had already tried. And it's hard. We live in a very fast-paced society. We want to see it. We want to feel it. We want to know it. And we want that same feeling to be at that same level all the time. And that's not love.
Yeah. As you said, love is about giving. So, tell me something. When people come to you and they say, look, I've been dating for years and there is just no one out there for me, is it possible that you just will never find your soulmates?
So your soulmate exists.
Okay.
Will you ever find them?
Two different questions.
Two different questions. And will you choose to continue searching for them even when you don't find them, right? Okay. So like I don't know, 15 million Jews in the world, and let's say you go out with 100 different people. Of those 100 people, I expect 90 of them to really not work for you and for you not even to be excited. And out of the 10 left, I expect for you to be excited about 2. And like the 8 are like, nah, maybe. And of the 2, probably 1 or both of them will dump you. And then you have to do the process again.
Oh, this is sounding miserable.
I know, it sounds like really depressing. But think about it. It's like finding a job, right? You could find a job and you can get a job today. Great, good for you. But you don't have to choose that job for a lifetime. You can grow and change and go with a different company. But marriage works differently. I'm picking you, and the ideal is I'm going to stick with you and make this work. So I'm going to be very choosy about that. So we have preferences, but for good reason.
But you believe that you should just keep going and persevere to find that person?
Look, if you want to do your own thing, live on your own and do that, and that will make you happy, and you're not up for this and this is just too hard, you can. It's not the path that I would encourage you to choose. The other thing is, we know at any stage of our lives, you can get married, somebody can pass away, we have war, somebody can die in war. There's moments where somebody's taken from us in a very different way, and we have to start the process again. So just because you find love, it's not like, oh, see, I'm fine, everything's fine. Like I have in my mind all the time, I'm like, you never know what happens. You just don't know. So you just have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to open your heart, open your time, and be available for people and try to make something happen.
Wow. It's really beautiful. I was just thinking about where we are 22 months into this war and how many people have had to experience what you just described. And yeah.
I just interviewed Rabbi D, who lost his wife and 2 daughters.
He just got remarried, right?
No, engaged. He's engaged. And
it's beautiful.
What a phenomenal couple, and such a fascinating story from heartbreak to new love. Wow. So if he can do it, I think that we can do it.
Oh, it gives me chills, and it's hard to keep going when you think about these kind of stories. So, tell me if you could plan the perfect Tu B'Av date. Location, food, activity, what would it be?
So I love to use the natural setting. So I would say the beach is great in the summer. Sunset is a perfect time because there's a moment that happens, this like in-between time. It's not dark, it's not light. There's a little bit of energy that's in the air. And a little picnic with something, and you go for a walk, whether you have a boardwalk or just along the beach or something like that. Just the waves and the natural environment. I like that the environment assists the relationship. And often I like evening dates. So
nice.
If it's summer, by the beach, and if not, also some sort of an evening or a dusk date is perfect.
It's literally my favorite date, the sunset, sitting in Tel Aviv by the Hilton, the sun going
and watching
down.
It go down.
Oh, so beautiful.
A little drinks, a little, wine and cheese, whatever it is.
Yeah, that is the best date. I have so many sunset pictures from there. I'm just picturing now. So, is there any piece of love advice that you've given that's actually backfired? I know you're an excellent expert, and your book is excellent, and you're excellent, but is there anything you've ever said that you're like, God, I wish I hadn't said that because it really didn't work out?
So I have this date 'em till you hate 'em kind of thing.
Okay.
And there was somebody who continued to date, and she's like, well, I don't hate him. I was like, I know. But if there's when in doubt, go out, keep going, give it an effort.
Wow, a lot of good cliches there.
Right. Date 'em till you hate 'em,
when in doubt, go out.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's not a no, it's a go.
Oh, this is good.
I sit there, I dream about them. It's memorable.
Somehow
it's sticky
I believe
language.
That's true.
It's sticky language, so you remember it. And they kept going and going. So this guy, I was coaching and working with this guy, and this other matchmaker was working with the girl, and he kept going. And he's like, Aleeza, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I was like, I know. So just keep going. And eventually, after a bunch of dates, he broke up. And the matchmaker called me, and she reamed me out. And she's like, that is so unfair. That is completely unacceptable. And she really believed he's into this. And I was like, okay, so let's take a few steps back. I said, he wasn't sure, which is why he kept going out. She's like, but he should have said no sooner. I said, but he didn't know sooner. She goes, no, it was too long. It was too serious. It was too much. It really got her hopes up. And it, it's not fair. And I tried to reason with her and say, listen, I think it's not fair that he should dump her after 2 dates when he's really unsure. What if they would have gotten married? I've seen couples who get married. But for that specific situation, it was too much for her, at least. Or maybe the matchmaker didn't, maybe she prepped her that ooh, this could be the one, and maybe she hyped it up too much. I don't know. But it really backfired on me because they were very upset with me. And I called the girl. I said, listen, let me speak to her. I spoke to the woman. I said, listen, if it would have worked and you would have gotten married, I would have been your miracle worker, right? Now I'm somebody that you hate. I understand that, and I'm really sad. That's my industry. You either love me or hate me. So I'm so sorry that it didn't work, but I really wanted him to give it the best shot, and he did. But it really ended up being that it didn't work for him, and he couldn't move ahead. And I would do it again the same way, because to me it's like a formula, and it works out. And you just have to understand the other side, and you have to understand, like, people always complain, you didn't give me enough of a chance. Okay, but now we did, but it still didn't work. So we also have to work on repair and healing, and, and dating detoxes, and just being prepared for, like, this is what happens. Let somebody give you a chance. It's okay. It might not work. It's only going to work if you get married, and if it doesn't, it's not going to work. And 99% of the time, it doesn't work, and 1% it does. Mazel tov.
Oh, well, I'm going to end. We're going to run out of time here, so I want to be able to ask you one last question, which is, Aleeza, you're so energetic. You're so full of heart. You so are passionate about what you do, but it must take a lot out of you to be able to be this passionate and this loving, really, to so many people. What do you yourself do to recharge?
Okay, so we know that to give is to love, so I try to do that to myself. Okay. So I set my own little, like, goals and what do I want to do. And so I started taking ukulele lessons. I started taking singing lessons. I bake challah and desserts on Thursday nights or Fridays. I kind of wind down I start my wind down on Thursday to go into the weekend. That's like the Israeli week. Mm-hmm. And I start working again on Sunday. So I work to balance and give time back to myself and to do something that's joyful to me as well. I also do needlepoint. I'm very grandma.
And since you said you're taking singing lessons and we really are out of time, do you want to sing like Matchmaker, just a couple of lines just to end us off?
Well, yes, but no. So I'm observant and religiously,
so you don't want
it's
to
not
sing.
my custom to sing, but Matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch, and find me a love that lasts. That's the goal, right, that you find a love that lasts.
Amen to that. All right, well, Aleeza Ben Shalom, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.